Hey, what's up, guys? Sermon11 here with my review of the Boondocks Season 4, Episode 8, I Dream of Siri. And this week we got another Granddad episode. I know, we're all tired of it, but this is a great one. And seriously, I really enjoyed this episode. I didn't force myself to like it. This episode was just awesome, and I would say it's the best of the season. I know I say that quite often, but I feel like this will be like one of the best episodes among the entire season. This episode was just downright hilarious, and I enjoyed it all the way through. So, with that out of the way, let's get into the review. So the episode starts off with a commercial featuring George Lucas, and if you don't know, he's the man who created Star Wars. It has him using Siri, which is pretty interesting. He asks Siri who shot first, Han or Greedo, which is a reference to the scene from Star Wars that caught attention by fans and everything. I haven't seen Star Wars. I don't know. I think it looks. Doesn't it look old now? I would have to say I think the effects in the movie look old unless they updated it, but I don't know. And plus the movies are super long, like over 3 hours. I don't feel like sitting around for that long. So Robert takes a trip to the Apple store to pick up an iPhone, and I wonder how they were able to use the Apple logo, the iPhone, Siri, all that in the episode. I'm sure it was a lot of money, but it sure did pay off because they either had to pay or ask permission. And I know people probably don't like these shows, but iCarly, Victorious, Sam and Cat, whenever they make like an Apple joke or something, or they reference Apple in a way, they have a pear phone, they have a fruit-shaped phone, and I don't know if they just do that or they don't have enough money to actually use the company in their show. But if they don't have enough money, I would say then that using the Apple logo is pretty expensive. But I don't know. It's possible that Adult Swim or Sony was able to afford this, and if they were, that's pretty cool. So I'm trying to get shorter with my summary, so I'm hoping this is under however long the last review it was. So Siri makes Robert's life better by giving him money. They're still in their financial situation, even though they got rid of Eddie, and she's helping him set up dates and everything, stuff like that. And then she even gives references to plenty of the old Boondocks episodes, the fundraiser, something about Riley calling Granddad a certain name because he got a lot of women, calling Huey a terrorist, and other stuff like that. And one thing that I liked about this episode was that they brought back Ruckus and Robert playing checkers in the park. This seemed like a scene that was used pretty often in the previous scenes, the previous seasons, so I'm glad it's back. And if you're making a show without its creator, you have to make it seem close but also new and different, and I hope they can continue to do that, but still calm down on the parodies, because they're parodies. I think I said this in the last one. The parodies are a little bit too close, because you can tell exactly what's going on, and I normally can't tell the parodies in the show. As I said before, this whole episode is hilarious. Siri makes Robert seem like a fruit-loving weirdo, which when he tries to return the phone to Apple, and then he then throws the phone in the trash can and switches to Android, and he finds out that all the new money in his account is gone, which hurts him in getting with this woman at the store. But the funniest line of the episode goes to Tom, who is one of my favorite characters up there with Huey. It's always funny when Tom loses it because he seems like someone who wouldn't curse a lot, but when you make him mad, he curses a lot, and he just seems like a different person. So Tom is angry about what Robert posted on Facebook, and here's the quote from the episode. "My daughter is friends with you on Facebook. You're going to ride an HE-double-effing hockey sticks for this, Robert." And it's so funny. Like, you have to watch the episode because my voice is depressing and everything, but it's so funny. And Siri had some great lines too. Robert threw the phone away, as I said earlier. He threw it away earlier in the episode, and Riley took the phone, but he didn't do anything with it. I kind of wanted Riley to do something with the phone. I don't know, buy something expensive. It's just like Granddad comes in there. He's like, where is it? I know you guys have it. And then pause, and then, oh, lift up the pillow. There's the phone and everything. I wanted Riley to do something with it, since these characters aren't getting any attention, really. And the funniest thing Siri did was calling 911 and then taking pictures of Robert. I just lost it there. That was so funny. And then the cops won't take his phone, so he drives out somewhere and throws it into the river. And then Robert sees a personified version of Siri, which I didn't really like. I think that's the right word, right? Personified. Well, personification is giving like human qualities to inanimate objects. So I don't know. Yeah, that works. Yeah, so the personified version of Siri looked old, and then she had lipstick. I don't really like lipstick on women, but whatever. And I would have preferred like a version of Siri that looked young, or like Sarah. I mean, she could have been in her 20s. She didn't have to be like a little kid. That's weird. She could have been like in her 20s. That's young, and Robert will probably get with anyone. Or she could have looked like Sarah, which would have been nice. And I'm sure some anime fans have already tried to personify like Siri, and I'm sure they've done a better job at it than this show. But then Siri returns. This is all in the middle of the night. Siri returns and makes Robert marry her, and this is like near the end of the episode. And at the marriage ceremony, Uncle Ruckus considers Siri to be a white person, and you know, it's Uncle Ruckus. He's saying all this racist stuff. Some people look kind of uncomfortable and everything. And a few of the characters from the show make an appearance here, so I did like that, because some characters don't really get that much attention. And it looks like for this part of the season, more of the older characters will appear, or at least I hope, you know. And then Siri tries to be with Robert. She wants him to shed his physical form, and I think she was saying this a little bit throughout the episode. So she sends a missile down on the wedding, and everyone's running away. And that was the explosion from the trailer. And that was pretty cool. I thought it would be a bigger explosion. It blows up part of the ground, and you know, the windows on the house shatter, but that's about it. And then I think that's about the last scene. The last scene is like them looking down at the crater and everything, and we get like some, I don't even know what this is called, but you know, like the screen's black, white letters, and then they tell what happened afterward. So Apple fixes the phone, and Robert gets a free iPad, which he wanted in the first place, but he also wanted features from the iPhone and the Mac. I don't know. I don't think that's a really good argument. Oh, Apple should make something all together, because each thing has its own benefits, even though the iPhone and the iPad and the iPod Touch are kind of similar and everything. But I wouldn't want like a tablet laptop. That's very stupid, and it's gonna be more like a tablet than an actual laptop, and laptops work better. But yeah. But this episode is definitely one of my favorites. Next week is going to be about Stink Meaner, who comes back to life via cloning. I don't really like this character. I don't know why he's loved so much by fans, but whatever. And Robert moves surprisingly well for an old man. I hope that the next episode is good. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more. If you want to follow me on Twitter or like my Facebook page, the links are below. I'm Sir11, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.